The coating durability test puts XS through a cycle of 10,000 strums. Through the lens of a microscope, it is clear that XS retains its composition better than other coated strings. Testing complete.
And great seeing you on this guitar that everybody has seen you with.
I've been playing this for a while, haven't I?
Yeah, no, as a jazz guy, how did the whole Telecaster thing happen?
Well,
Because not an obvious choice.
It's not necessarily an obvious choice, but historically, they've been peppered throughout the history of...
Oh, yeah. Of Jimmy Bryant.
Yeah, who I think is the greatest ever, and my tone hero.
Oh, God, amazing.
He's amazing. And a lot of players, whether it be a Telecaster or just a solid body, it's kind of part of the fabric of... I think electric guitar in general, obviously, but definitely jazz too.
Yeah.
Growing up, I played a Stratocaster. My father had a Telecaster. I always loved a Telecaster. I kind of fell for the myth that I couldn't play one because I was a jazz player.
Yeah.
And then at some point, I think I just called it in question and said, that's not necessarily true. I started playing them at guitar stores. I think, God, someday I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
I bought one. I bought a beautiful Nash Tele years ago. And for like one or two songs a night, I'd play it with my band.
Yeah.
At the time, I was playing a Linda Manzer Archtop, and that was feeling great. And then it was 3 songs, and it was 4 songs. And I said, you know what? I just got to let go of any preconceived notions.
Right.
And really let myself fall in love with it. I'd say the biggest reason why I fell in love with it was just the bluntness of it, I'm relatively sparse in terms of equipment or effects,
Sure.
And I like an instrument that kind of just doesn't do anything unless you do something.
Right.
It's a bit masochistic, but it's also quite an education.
Sure.
So it's a very true instrument. All Teles possess that, I think. And this one in particular, I think, does it better than just about anyone I've played.
Okay, so tell me about this.
Well, yeah, this is a Nachocaster, Nacho guitar. Nacho is one of the great, he's a dear friend of mine, just a great thinker and contributor to the world of guitar. Famously wrote the Blackguard Tele book.
Oh, really?
The Pinecaster book, a very, very important fixture in our community. And he loves Telecasters, and he makes them, as well as other Fender-style guitars. And this is the second one of his that I play. I have another one. Started playing it many years ago. He's in Valencia, Spain.
Wow.
And his methods of making them and his just sensibilities, I think, are absolutely dialed. The feel, the weight, and the honesty that I was speaking of before. That's all very, very apparent when you play any of his guitars.
So did he build it to your specifications, or you just say, go crazy?
He makes them in batches, typically. Yeah. And, excuse me, a couple times a year, I'd say, there are these batches of 20, 30 guitars, and this was one of the batch. I don't really have, there's not much I would say to someone like him, because he just knows what it's supposed to be like.
Sure.
And so the other one I had is more based on a broadcaster. It's a broadcaster. And then this one came with a P90. The only I can tell you, I'm a diehard obsessive of Ron Ellis's. Ron Ellis, the great pickup maker. And so these are Ron Ellis pickups. This is actually an Ellisonic, which is the pickup that was built for the signature guitar we made for Collings. It's just in a P90 case.
Okay.
So ostensibly this functions as a solid body version of the signature guitar. And I don't ever change from the neck position.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not there yet.
Kind of live there all the time.
I like it.